Hey all, if you've played around with redstone circuits, you've probably run into a few things that you wanted to do but just couldn't figure out how. Chances are they're possible, but you need to learn a few tricks of the trade in order to take things to the next level, and today I'll show you one of the most useful circuits you can learn to help you get there. This is a T flip-flop circuit, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build it and how to use it. Now, just on its own, the T flip-flop lets you control things in ways you never could using just simple levers and buttons. This is what it looks like over here, and let me show you how it works. I've got a button set up over here that feeds into the flip-flop, and we've got a lead running from it that controls this torch. So if I press the button once, torch goes out, press it again, and the torch comes on. Now notice that even though the signal that's coming out of the button feeding into the circuit only lasts a second or so, every time I press it, the torch either stays lit or goes out until the next time I press it. Now, this is frequently what's used to control these circuits, although you can also use pressure plates, tripwires, or even levers. And as you get into more advanced stuff, you can trigger the flip-flop using other circuits. Okay, so now we've seen it, let's move on and let me show you how to build one of these things. Okay, here we go, folks. We start with one block hole, redstone torch, and on top of that we build this upside down L-shaped structure. I'm using wool here as a material, and even though you can use just about any kind of movable block, wool is a great choice because it comes in so many colors, and as your projects get a little bit more advanced, you can use it to color code the circuits. Okay, sticky piston on either end, and we also want redstone torch on either end, and we'll join the two sides with a redstone lead. Alright, and this side is going to become our input side. So on the side that does not have the buried torch, one block there, and we have a lead coming down to whatever it is that's going to be our input. Once again, we'll set up a simple button, and then we've got our output side here. And for this we want a lead coming away from the side that does have the buried torch. Lead away from that. And once again, let me set up just another torch there we can use to see what's going on. So once again, press once, torch goes out. Press again, and the torch comes back on. Okay, what's the big deal, some of you may say, because you can pretty much do the same thing with just a lever. Flip on, flip off. Well, let me show you a couple of things that you can do with this that you cannot do with a lever. One of the greatest things about this circuit is that you can use more than one input source to do exactly the same thing. Put another button here, and either button will control the circuit. Doesn't matter. We can press this button twice, press this button, and then press this button. Whatever input we've got, it does the same thing. And again, just let me show you here. We've got, that's not what we want. I've got a tripwire set up over here. And tripwire can also be used to control the circuit. And just for fun, let me show you what a lever would do. Now, this is a little bit different because notice a button or pressure plate, tripwire, generally you're just going to send a single pulse into the circuit. A lever is going to send a pulse in when we flip it, and flip it again, and only then does the signal go in. So that's going to trigger the circuit every other time you press it. Okay, so there's how to build it and some of the things it'll do. Let me show you an example of this circuit in use. Okay, so not to belabor a point here, but let's take a look at some of the limitations of using, let's say, just a lever to control a door. Okay, everybody's familiar with this. We can use the lever to open the door. go inside though, and we cannot then use another lever to close the door. If we want to close the door, we've got to go back outside, but what if you want to go inside and close the door? Yeah, we could use pressure plates, but let's say you want to go inside and leave the door open. You're kind of limited there. So over here we've got a little bit more of an elaborate setup, but still the same idea. We've got a piston door that we can open or close from here using a button, and no surprise, this leads down to the input for a flip-flop circuit. If we go inside the gate, we now have a button we can use to open or close it from inside. So you probably wouldn't want to build something like this unless you had the ability to control it from either side. So that kind of expands the possibilities a little bit for you. That's one example. There are many others, and you're going to be seeing this circuit in future videos as well. So keep an eye out for that. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the video and keep on digging.